Football 2021. Rookies, trade advice, you name it. I'll be handling as many questions as I can in a short period of time. I've got some weird people that continue to drive by and stare me down. So, not sure what's going on. Hit me with your questions. What do you got for me? We'll be talking rookie stuff. I'm not getting rookied out, but I did a lot of rookie content. I posted my rookie video, my 2021 rookie mock draft. That's up on Smitty1.com, on here, the fantasyfootballshow.com. So check that out. Tell me what you think in the comments here. You guys got any discrepancies or things you don't agree with in the rookie mock draft? Go ahead and post it below, and we'll talk about it. What's up, Keaton? But I have my rookie mock draft went Harris, Jamar Chase, Devontae Smith, Kyle Pitts. So Devontae Smith and Kyle Pitts you can swap at 3 and 4. Chase and Harris you can swap at 1 and 2, depending on team need. Very, very, very close. Number 5 for me was ETN, and ETN was frankly a tier, like that's tier 1. 1 through 4 is tier 1, and ETN's hanging on to that tier. Very, very capable of being in tier 1 with those guys. So really, it's a top 4, locked and loaded for me. You know, depending on need, I would move them around a little bit, but ETN is slightly outside, but could very well climb into that tier. I'm a Superflex tight end with 1.4. You're probably going to be in a really good spot to take Chase or Harris, man. And that's what I talk about tonight. Go check my video out. Husker, go check out my video, because in that video I talk about that. I talk about the advantages of being in a Superflex mentality and having your quarterback already taken care of, and how you can really dominate in Superflex because people freak out and take quarterbacks over everybody else. And that's not a bad move, especially if you need one. But I think if you take care of your quarterback room in other ways, you trade for them, you draft smartly, that you can clean up in rookie drafts and get talent you shouldn't be getting in your Superflex rookie drafts because people freak out and take quarterbacks. So I addressed that in my video, so make sure you go and watch that. Favorite late round running backs and redraft? I'd probably say all the super handcuffs like Alexander Madison, Tony Pollard, Trey Sermon's a middle round to late round in redraft, probably middle round. I like Matt Murray still, Chuba Hubbard. Those are a lot of my late round running back grabs. There's not a lot of like other late guys that are worth much. Those are the handcuff, win a league, super handcuffs we call them. What are you thinking about Calvin Ridley? What are we thinking about Calvin Ridley? I think we're thinking this guy knows how to be a top 1 to 5 wide receiver. I think that people that doubt that he can be that good are going to be maybe disappointed in themselves, because Calvin Ridley proved he can be that good. I'm not going to doubt him. Calvin Ridley is a top 1 to 5 wide receiver. I have no problem taking him after, and you don't have to take him earlier because by default he'll fall. But you got Adams, you got Hill, you probably got Diggs, and then Ridley's going to be 4, 5, or 6, whatever you can get away with. Michael Carter or Tevin, the starter. Michael Carter should be the starter. Anything is possible, but Michael Carter is going to be, I think, a really good running back in the NFL, and I think he landed in a very, very good spot. We liked him in general, consensus-wise, in the fantasy football industry. People were talking him up left and right. Oh, imagine if Michael Carter lands in a really good spot. Where are we going to rank Michael Carter then? And guess what? Michael Carter landed in a very good spot, yet a lot of people aren't talking about him. Hit that thumbs up on your way in. We got more people in here than thumbs up. All right. Wipe your feet at the front door. Help the show out. Am I worried about Miles Sanders? I've never stopped being worried about Miles Sanders, Husker. Never. That's why he was one of my biggest avoids in 2020. I've told you guys to stay clear of him unless he falls to a good value. Even now, I like him a little bit at the right value, but we already got Gainwell drafted onto that roster. And if you're talking about Miles Sanders at 3.1, 3.2, especially higher, you are running a risk of getting extremely disappointed yet again. I'm starting to feel like I'm starting to feel like Miles Sanders at even 3.7 is risky. Why? Not so much because I don't think he's capable of doing well, okay, but Gainwell's a PPR guy. Gainwell is one of the better receiving backs um, in this rookie class, and he lands on a roster where you don't know what the hell Sirianni or anybody's going to do. They won't commit to Jalen Hurts, and there's no other option, in my opinion. So the fact that they're not committing to Jalen Hurts when it's clearly obvious that he's the only guy, and you could give your guy, your quarterback that went through a lot last year. Jalen Hurts went through a lot emotionally last year. He got pulled from the lineup. There's a great divide in that locker room, and the locker room supports Jalen Hurts. There's no one else to support other than Jalen Hurts, and you can't even come out and say this is our guy when it's clear as day to give your guy a little confidence after he got a little rattled last year based on all the crap going on. You can't come out and give your guy some confidence and say he's our starter. So I worry about what they're going to do with Miles Sanders, to be frank, bro. Um, I would maybe mess around with late fourth round value at this point, but it comes down to how many times is there just a better option sitting right in front of me, whether it's a Josh Allen or Justin Herbert, even going cross position and going, okay, I think I'd rather have Clyde Edwards-Helaire by a mile over Miles Sanders, by a Miles Sander. Monty, CEH, Monty. There's probably Kareem Hunt. I'd probably rather have Kareem Hunt over Miles Sanders. Can you suggest a relatively ideal team comp and Superflex? Better to have two stud wide receivers or four solid wide receivers and two? I'm not quite sure what you mean. I'll try and piece together. Maybe you said something above Chris Carson or Miles Sanders. Neither. Too much going on in Philly now. Yeah. Gainwell's pretty good. I don't know that I like this situation at all. I'm not sure what you mean. Relatively ideal comp. You're gonna have to give me some like scenarios, man. Like these two guys, or start with this guy or start with that guy. It's too hard to come up with I don't know fully what you're asking, but definitely try to ask me piece by piece, and I can answer the questions. What's up, Double A? What's up, buddy? Yeah, I don't go near Chris Carson. I don't go near Miles Sanders unless it's really, really low. What's wrong with Carson? He's a clear starter. Bro, Carson, when does Carson not disappoint you? You know what I mean? Like, if he fell to the right value, maybe, but I'm not going after him. I'm not chasing after Carson. I'm not going out of my way to try and get Carson on my team. No work tonight. Attaboy, Double A. I traded Miles Sanders for Clyde Edwards. Attaboy! In multiple leagues right before they improved their offensive line. Yeah, dude, Clyde's going to be good. I'm all in on Clyde, especially the ADPs, like 3.5 to 4.02. Give me a break. When he gets injured, but he's a good running back. Well, bro, but that's part of it, Like, again, has he ever disappointed you? Is what I'd ask you, and how many times? Same thing with Mixon, man. Is Mixon a good running back? Yeah, Mixon's got top 10 running back talent easily, but can you trust him? In Superflex, how early do you take Kareem Hunt? Tough to say, man. I can't give you that's a very vague question, and I could blow smoke up your rear end on this one and just tell you, but every Superflex draft is going to be different, and flow matters. So I can't really. I can just say that he's going in round like 5 in a non-2 QB league. So I imagine you could get him at least a round or a round and a half later. So I think round 6 and a half, something like that. Thoughts on Akers early, but it depends on flow. If he's like the third rank running back on the board on the pre-rank for you, and you're coming up, you can't wait because he'll get taken. But if he's like a whole scroll down and the quarterbacks are flying off the board, like so much depends on the historical trending in your league as far as quarterbacks go. You know what I mean? So if you're in a league like I did in the Scott Fish Bowl last year, it's a 2 QB tight end premium, and no quarterbacks were going. Like we had a group of people that they all kind of reacted to each other, and no quarterback went really early, like one or two. Then people started avoiding them. Like you could scoop up two really good top 6 to 10 quarterbacks in rounds 4 and 5, and then you do another super flex where all of them are gone by the end of round like 2.5. So it's so dependent on what you're dealing with, and it'd be hard to tell you for sure what to do. So Martians have a death beam pointed at Earth. You got to go Carson or Sanders. Sanders, I think, but I don't. I'd rather take the chances that the beam doesn't hit, and I get to go. Why not go Clyde? Why not go Clydey boy? Like, would you take Clyde over those two? I would take Clyde over those two in a freaking heartbeat. Monty, Clyde, Kareem Hunt. Screw the Martians, bro. Thoughts on Akers early second? I don't hate it, but I'm not doing it. I'm not. I can understand why. I'm not going 11 or 12 overall. If you have the 12, you have the 13, so it's essentially the same thing. So I don't like him at 11. Means I probably don't like him at 13. Or 14. I don't like him at 12 and 13. I start looking at him around 18, 15, 18, and he's not going to fall. So I'm not going to own Akers probably in 2021. And it's not because I don't see the upside. I'm telling you right now. So it's not about, Smitty, you're going to be wrong. Like, I'm telling you, there's a percentage chance that Akers can be a top 5 to 10 running back. And if that plays out that way, then the percentage hit, the smaller percentage hit, and that can happen. I'm not saying 0% he can't be a top 5 to 10 running back. To me, it feels more like a 40, 45% chance at this point that he could be a top 5 to 10 running back. So, what's up, Tyler? So for me, I'd rather go with a guy that feels more in the 70, 80% range of being top 5 at his position, and that could be me going cross wide receiver. I'd much, much, much rather have that scenario play out and take a player like that than bank on Akers. But it doesn't mean that I hate Akers. Would it be better to have DK and Tyreek Hill or McLaurin? McLaurin. Claypool, Keenan Allen, and Higgins. I don't know. You kind of got periods in here, bro. I don't even know what you're talking about because you're saying, would I rather have DK and Tyreek Hill or McLaurin, period, Claypool, period, Keenan Allen, period, and Higgins? You're talking about all those guys? I'd rather have DK and Tyreek Hill over all those guys by a long mile, bro. Like by a lot. So I don't know what the periods are about, but definitely would rather have the two wide receivers because I could get like two guys off, maybe not waivers, but deep in a draft that I love a ton. What's going on, Tyler? What's going on, Kevin? Need more likes to support our buddy here. Hit the thumbs up. 18 to 40 people jumping in and out. And you got 12 thumbs up. Wipe your feet. Wipe your feet, people. I'm out here in the middle of the night trying to make sure my night people are taken care of because that's how I roll. I'm doing a lot more day stuff now. I got the day show, 4 to 7 p.m. every single Tuesday and Thursday. 3 hours straight every Tuesday and Thursday. You can find me on the fantasyfootballshow.com. But I'm not forgetting about my night people. So I'm out here 2 or 3 times a night doing a night show just out in the nice open space, breathing in nice air because I'm inside. I'm cooped up all day long in my studio, and I enjoy doing a Q&A night show. I love it. Hey, Smitty, I'm in a keeper league, 12 team half PPR, Jonathan Taylor in the 4th round or Josh Allen in the 14th round. Ooh, I mean that those are good. That's a good question, Colton. Bro, I'd probably say hit the thumbs up. I probably would say, I mean, Jonathan Taylor, like, here's the thing. At a certain point, once you get, like, past, like, okay, Jonathan Taylor, he's a first rounder, you're getting him for a 4th rounder, you could literally come to me with a lesser player and say, I'm getting him in the 75th round. Like, at some point, it doesn't really matter. Like, 4th round, that's such good value. You can't really factor in if it's a lesser player that you're getting to keep him later. The bottom line is you can probably get Josh Allen with your fourth rounder, third rounder. You could get a Herbert in the fourth or fifth round, maybe. You could get so. Would I rather you have Josh Allen way downstream? I guess it depends. I'll answer it this way: if that fourth rounder becomes a second rounder, like if you lose 2 rounds each year, then I'd probably go with Josh Allen because you're going to get him longer. But if it's the same like every year, or it's 1 year, Jonathan Taylor, because he's a first rounder, that's a tough thing to pass up. I probably lean that way. Unless it's a 2 QB league, then the answer is Allen. Like, no question about it. Woblin, are you worried about how bad Seattle's offense was last year and it affect DK Russell? Not too much, because when you think about it, bro, if a team's losing, they're going to throw the ball a ton. You're not going to stop Russell Wilson and DK from playing football, playing catch in the backyard. If you're losing, the team's has some problems. It's probably not going to affect DK. They'll be throwing it a ton. You know what I mean? I'm not worried about it. I think people are making too much out of Russell Wilson right now. Russell Wilson, remember last year around this time, I do lives and I tell you, don't doubt A-Rod. A-Rod's one of the biggest steals in 2020 fantasy football drafts. If you remember me coming out here, I think in the same location, doing night live streams and saying, why are you doubting A-Rod? He's 36 years old back then at the time. 36 years old. Adams, I kept saying this, Adams was hampered. They ran the football a ton for a reason, because Adams was hurt for a big portion of the year. When Adams came back, he wasn't totally healthy. They had to revamp and makeshift this offense into a run-heavy system that they would go back and change once they got a healthy Adams back. But they restructured how they did things. They had to run the football a ton. They fed Aaron Jones an ungodly 19, I think it was, touchdowns. But we knew that the Green Bay Packers would return to form. We knew. And everybody kept sleeping on A-Rod. He's done. He's washed up. He's 36 years old. Are you kidding me? Same thing's happening with Russell freaking Wilson. Everybody keeps getting all crazy about Russell Wilson. He's going to be, inconsistent, Smitty. The guy's been a top 5 quarterback in the past. No question about him being one of the bigger steals in 2021, middle to late rounds. And I say late because the guy's getting drafted in some cases like the 8th or 9th quarterback, which happens sometimes in round 7 or 8 or 9. So Russell Wilson will be fine. The Seattle Seahawks have a lot they need to work on. But this is a team that I projected to have, and so did Dr. Raj, and so did, I think we had a couple people, C-Mac and Vlad, also say 10 wins. 10 and 7, maybe 11 and 6. Might have been the record a couple of us had. They've got a pretty good schedule. They got some games that they can win. Seattle's got a much better path to winning 10 or 11 games than the Cardinals have, in my opinion, looking at the schedule briefly. Bold prediction, Julio will be in Green Bay by June. Wouldn't shock me, because they need to make A-Rod happy, and that might be one of the requests he has. Get me a guy like Julio. Let's win a Super Bowl, baby. The only thing that makes me think, God, the Bugman's here again. Whenever I come to a live stream, the Bugman shows up and they spray me out of here. Son of a bitch. The only thing that makes me think that there's probably no chance that, or not no chance, that makes me think there's not a very good chance that they're going to trade Julio, is that what team's going to give up enough to make it worth trading him? You know what I mean? What team is going to say, like Green Bay could? Green Bay could, because I think Green Bay might be under the gun with A-Rod. A-Rod's going to be like, hey, you got to go get me a guy. So it's possible, totally possible. Do I think it's going to happen, though? Do I think a team's going to give up enough and make it worth Atlanta to say, hey, we'll give up Julio for, this second-round pick or something like that? Because no one's going to be giving up a first-round pick. So will a team give up a second-round pick? Will Atlanta see that as value? Or will they say, screw it, we'd rather have Julio not get the second-round pick and have a chance of winning a Super Bowl in their mind. Remember, this is not logical. It's what the Falcons are thinking. The Falcons are awful. They should have an ability to win 9, 8 games maybe. But let's get real. This is the Atlanta Falcons. There's only so much they're going to be able to improve upon. Matt Ryan is definitely not a guy I rely on, a guy I count on. But my point being is, will the Falcons get an offer big enough to say, well, we'd rather have that than the option of having Julio? So Julio's in that weird place where no team's going to value him that much, in a trade. So I assume you don't think Mixon's worth the risk in the injury history. Bro, I like Mixon at the right value. What is that? Late third round value, maybe. I still find myself often liking other players whenever Mixon's on the board and I'm in the third round and I'm like, okay, I said I'd go after Mixon in the third round. Let's see what I can do. And then I go ahead and look at it and I'm like, shit, no, I like that guy better. No, I think I'd rather go quarterback here. I haven't gotten quarterback. Let me get Josh Allen on the team in the third round. Even if I fell to the 4.2 and I'm looking at Mixon and I see obviously Clyde or Monty sitting there, I'd take those guys over Mixon. But I don't. Let's say they're gone. Mixon's still there. Oh my God, but Herbert's there. I figure out a way to draft Herbert. Like I keep getting out of it. I haven't committed or bought into any Mixon shares. He's burned everybody 2 years in a row. I think Cincinnati turns things around. It all started with getting Jamar Chase. Burrow's going to have a quicker release. Offensive line is going to get much improved. And then there's going to be better production all the way around, which will then in turn help the defense. The Bengals are going to surprise some people in 2021. I like it. I like Mixon a little bit. I don't know that I like him enough. I can't seem to draft him. Where do you think Jay Love should go in a Superflex startup if A-Rod leaves Green Bay? Bro, you're asking a question that we can't answer, though. And I'm not going to give that hypothetical answer because I don't think Green Bay's going to get rid of A-Rod. So I don't want to pump up or inflate Jordan Love's value at all. If he was starting for a team, I still don't think he's anywhere near. Like, I'd rather have Taysom Hill, bro, for right now. Because we don't even know where he's at right now. I'd rather, if it's Dynasty, I mean, of course, I'd probably rather have Love. But if it's a redraft, I'd probably rather have Taysom Hill than Love right now. Especially right now, knowing what we know, which is nothing. Monty's a must avoid for me. I think he's in a committee. Well, Monty was number 4 out of all running backs in 2020. So let's give him a tiny bit of respect. But I will say, in your defense, bro, Nagy's been named the play caller. That has been really bad in the past, so I'm not super pumped about Nagy. And, yeah, I'm going to try and find a scooter very soon, Paulie. But this is about the same thing, the night chat. I'm out and about. I could get a scooter if I want. If I see a scooter, I'll get one. Trey Lance QB1. Trey Lance is the man. But Monty, I understand your hesitation. I've been passing on Monty quite a bit. When I'm on the clock and I see a player I feel safer, I'll go that route. But 4th round, I've seen Monty fall to the 4th round. I'm taking him in the 4th round. He's number 4 overall running back in 2020. What's up, Yoda? Why do people value Edmonds so high in the Arizona backfield? Bro, I have no idea. You tell me. Bro. I have no clue why. No clue. Before the NFL draft, I was like, avoid this guy. Najee Harris is coming to town, and then the Cardinals didn't take him. But I don't know that I love Connor. I don't know that I love Edmonds. I don't like any of the running. They should have taken Elijah Moore. That would have been fantastic, man. I don't know. Or what did I say? Elijah Mitchell. Elijah Moore. They should have taken Elijah Mitchell. I like Rondale Moore. I'm glad the Cardinals didn't take Elijah Moore. I'm sorry. I misspoke. Elijah Mitchell would have been a cool running back to land in Arizona, bro. Or Carter, I would have been okay with that. What round do you draft Kyle Pitts? And redraft, I don't know. I don't know if I have a round in mind. More so, he's like my number 6 or 5 tight end if I could get away with it. I think he really could be that good. In Dynasty, it depends, man, who's left. I don't know that I can give you an exact round right now. I'm still getting adjusted to where I'm going to, draft some of these guys. But I think Kyle Pitts is a tough one to give a number. You kind of got to go off who's available. I think if you take him any higher than like around 4, you're really not giving yourself a lot of firepower, especially if he takes a while to get going. So I'd worry about that. Over under Mike Davis touchdowns on season 8. I'd say 8 sounds about right. Big Dog, thank you. For those who don't know, I released the rap song on Instagram. If you go to my stories right now, you can see it on there. It's also on Twitter, on my Fleet, my stories on Fleet. Go check it out. Gibson or what was the question? Gibson or Dobbins? Give me Gibson, man. I like both of them. J.K. Dobbins has top 5 to 10 running back appeal. So does Gibson. Gibson feels J.K. might have a touch more upside. Like, could he be top 5? And Gibson's more like 6 to 10. Like a little bit more upside. But Gibson feels safer. I'm going to go Gibson pretty much all day on that one. But I wouldn't blame anybody for taking a chance. Trade to the Bay. How you feel about Swift? I don't like Swift much at all. Detroit blows. Sorry, I was trying to see what was behind me. I didn't know what store that was. Skincare. Get your skincare. Look, I didn't love Swift and his 12, 13, 14 overall ADP before the Detroit Lions completely dismantled their team. Now I really don't like Swift. Now I'm really worried about Swift. I'm not going near Swift with Goff trying to get to know everybody and build rapport in Detroit. Losing Golladay, this is a mess, man. I'm not going near Swift if he's even sniffing round 2 value. Lions could, even though having a losing team can have you throw the ball a ton more because you're going to be down, it's still, I don't like the fact that they won't move the chains is my problem. You're talking about a team that's probably going to be a lead dog to be the worst record in the league. Houston and Detroit, I have winning 1, 2, or 3 games maximum when I'm doing predictions. I kind of like Swift. I think his O-line, new coach, is much better, and there'll be a run-heavy offense. Well, we'll see, man. I'm not going near any Lions players. Is Hawkinson in a better spot having less targets? No. Hawkinson could not be in a better spot. Like, you take away the quarterback that made him who he is. The reason I loved Hawkinson, one of the reasons was Stafford. And you take Stafford away, you give him Goff, who now has to build rapport and adjust to the offense. Not like he's going to walk in and just do the same thing, that he did in a Rams uniform. He's just going to walk in and do it. No, he's going to probably have a lot of struggles and ups and downs. And I just don't like any Lions players, man. You know me, I feel like I found Hawkinson, I don't know many people that promoted Hawkinson and Waller more than I did on video, published out there. Like, I was on Hawkinson, and if I'm worried about him, I'm not avoiding him, but got like bugs flying in my face. I'm not avoiding him, but I'm not going to go running after him. Like, if he falls into a good draft slot, I'll take him. I'll scoop him up. But I'm not feeling great about it. The schedule's through interesting fantasy takes from me. What are your thoughts on best takeaway from them? I think you're saying from this. I think you're talking about schedule. I'm still working through some of that, but like Pittsburgh, great schedule, for Najee Harris. He's gonna have a big year. There's a lot of stuff that I think is hard to predict because defenses got a lot better and teams got a lot better with the NFL draft. So really combing through a lot of that, but like Pittsburgh was one that stood out, like, oh my God, Harris could have a really, really good rookie year. It's going to be great. Do I like Baker as my QB2, no. Bro, the way that I stack my team is I often get big guns. When I'm doing 2 QB leagues, my QB2 is usually like a Tom Brady or, I'll have like a Herbert and an A-Rod. Or I'll get Russell Wilson and Herbert. Like, I oftentimes will build like that. I'm not saying I have every Superflex I've done or I'm in has monster quarterbacks. They might actually. Um, I think if I just had one quarterback, like if I had Herbert and say I didn't have anybody else, I probably would go after Trevor Lawrence. I'd probably go after Russell Wilson. I'd probably go after Trey Lance. I'd probably try and get one of those quarterbacks, Zach Wilson, and try and get one of them in the mix with my Herbert. But I'm not starting Baker. That's not how I roll. I like to have stronger quarterbacks. The Pitt O-line scares me when it comes to Harris. It does a little bit, but that schedule is going to help level that a little bit, man. I mean, that schedule is pretty good. Would you keep Montgomery as a 5th-round keeper or Hurts in the 10th? Probably Monty. I like Hurts a lot, man, but you could draft him back. You can draft Hurts back a lot easier than you can draft Monty back. No Lions or Texan player for you. Voice of reason. I don't blame you. Which rookie should you draft or put it this way? Which is the guy you should get before the other rookies? Watch my rookie video that I just dropped. That'll help you a lot. I just dropped it about an hour or two ago on the YouTube channel. It's my rookie top 12 overall. And I talk about all the guys that I want to have. Devontae Smith, Sermon. Yeah, Hurts is a tough schedule. Yeah, and a super flex, man, I'm all about, like, so if you watch my Superflex video or my rookie video that I dropped tonight, I talk about taking care of your QB early on in the process during the initial Dynasty startup draft. Taking care of QB before you get to the point where your rookie draft is where you've got to replenish your QBs and you got to pass on a Jamar Chase. You got to pass on a Devontae Smith. You can't take Najee Harris even though you want him really bad because your quarterback sucks so bad that you put yourself in a hole. I talk about that. I like addressing my quarterback spot in the initial draft and having a great quarterback room. So when the time comes to have a rookie draft, I'm stealing people away from people. I'm stealing away Jamar Chase. I'm stealing away Devontae Smith. I'm trading in to get a number 1 or number 2 overall pick and also a 4 or 5 overall pick. And I'm getting Devontae and Harris. I'm getting Devontae and Chase. I'm getting 2 of those guys. Or if I've got a Herbert and I don't have another quarterback and I got the number 2 overall and the number 6 overall, I'm drafting a quarterback with 1. I'm getting Trey Lance or I'm getting Trevor Lawrence. And then I'm also grabbing one of those wide receiver or running backs that Harris, Devontae Smith, or Jamar Chase, or even Kyle Pitts, man. Burrow or Brady in redraft? I want to say Burrow, and I'm probably going to say lock Burrow in for me. But there's a risk involved. I think he'll be ready for week 1, but the fact that there's even like a question makes you a little bit worried about, okay, how will he have any struggles early on? Will it take him time to get his feet wet? So Brady's safer. At what point do you draft Deshaun Watson? Oh, Dynasty Superflex. I'm not touching him, man. The thing is, a lot of people will take him before I have to worry about it. If he was there in round 6 or 7, I probably would think about it. But he's not going to be. Somebody's going to take him in like round 3 or 4, and I'm not doing that. I'm not going near it. How far does Aaron Jones fall in your rankings if A-Rod's going to be in Green Bay, in my opinion. But if for any reason he's not, I think Aaron Jones goes down quite a bit. Like, I don't know if it's a full round, but I certainly would be tempted to take him at the top of round 2 anymore. I would be more inclined to take him maybe like on the bookend 24, 25 picks. So let's say you got McCaffrey and then you got Ridley and Aaron Jones. I'd probably be okay with that. But I don't think he's going anywhere, man. A-Rod's not going anywhere. What's up, Leo? At what point do you – I mean, anything can happen. I shouldn't say he's not going anywhere for sure, but I definitely don't feel like it's going to happen. I could see Philly drafting a QB in the first round next year. Bro, they almost did this year. Philly's a mess, man. I wanted to throw Philly into my turnaround teams like Cincinnati and New York, but I worry too much about that coaching staff and that ownership. Do you think there's room for the KC offense to have another receiver? Kelsey Hill. I mean, maybe like I like Robinson a lot. Mecole Hardman could still get in the mix, but I think it's mainly going to be Clyde that gets the bump in PPR work. Clyde could get that 65 reception season in 2021. I'm hoping he does. Do you like DJ Moore's value? I like DJ Moore if he's valued properly and not overdrafted, and sometimes it's different in one league versus another. Do I think he's a great wide receiver 3? Yeah. If someone's drafting him as a high-end wide receiver 2, a little too rich for my liking because there's other safer players. Sometimes it's not about me hating a player or doubting the player. It's more about me liking other players better at that ADP. I just feel there's safer options sitting there. Do you like DJ? Okay, got that one. Packers aren't trading him, says Voice. Yeah, I agree. Okay, I think I'm caught up. Smitty, I think you're spot on a lot of things. I agree with you a lot. Thank you, Voice. I'm not right about everything. That's for sure. Are you in the slightest worried about Jarek on the Chiefs? Who? Jarek who? What are you talking about? McKinnon? No. Take a lap. I think A-Rod is just a diva. I don't know if he's a diva, double A. Let me tell you this. A-Rod's been pretty quiet about it for a while. Okay, he hasn't been getting his way for a while now. The other thing we got to keep in mind, double A, not saying that I fully believe this is the entire story, but part of it maybe is, have you heard from A-Rod? I haven't. I hear a lot of people talking for him, but I haven't heard from him. And I also heard Schefter talk for him. And then Schefter ended up admitting on the Dan Patrick show that it was all his, thinking. Like he had come to a conclusion. His observations led him to what he said on draft day. So I think people should give A-Rod a little bit of the benefit of the doubt because he's a pretty calm, cool guy. And I believe he does want a fat extension. I also believe he does want to say, like Russell Wilson does, and maybe there is some, expressed concern. Maybe he has said, I may not come back if things don't change, but we don't really know what he's really been saying. Clyde or Najee, bro, as much as I love Clyde, they're not in the same round. Like, Najee's like a 2.11 to 3.03, and Clyde's like a 3.5 to a 4.05, like, depending on where you could steal them away. It's all about who hates Clyde from last year enough that Clyde falls into the 4th round. God, if you can get him in the 4th round, that's amazing. But they aren't even in the same, tier. So the answer is Najee. But I love both, man. And could Clyde outscore Najee? He could. Taylor or Gibson? Leo, number 1. Taylor's going in the top 5 to 7 overall. I'm not going to make you take a lap on this, buddy. But Gibson's a 2nd rounder. So we're talking about a whole, boatload of picks in between these two. Do I think Taylor and Gibson could be closer than people think? Sure. But, yeah, this is like you take Taylor at 7 overall, you take Gibson at 18. So they're pretty far apart. Um, yeah, like no one's like we don't know. Rodgers may very well have said, "I want out. I'm never playing again," but we don't know. We don't know. We don't know. I totally agree. Got him. Just wanted your take. I got both in the league. Okay, I got you. Yeah, Leo. If you've got Taylor and Gibson, you got two really good running backs, bro. What's up, Justin? You know who I like this year a lot? You know who I like a lot this year? I really, really, really like Diggs. I'm liking Diggs more and more. I'm more and more okay with Diggs as the number 2 ranked wide receiver. I'm more and more okay with that Diggs and Josh Allen stack. And in a dynasty league that I just started, a charity dynasty league, I took Josh Allen. It's a 16 teamer, so it's very, very deep. But I took Josh Allen near the end of round 3 in a 16 teamer. So we're talking, much later pick than normal. And I took Diggs in the first round. I took DK in the first round. I took Diggs in the second round, and I took Josh Allen in the third round. And I took Michael Carter. It's a one running back league because of 16 teamer, smaller lineup. And so I took Michael Carter and Sermon. I'm going really light at running back, but I love that. I love Michael Carter and Sermon. It's a dynasty 16 team charity league where you get kicked out if you're in the bottom 3. So Carter, Sermon are my running back rotation so far, but I'm going to roll the dice on that. I got Alexander Madison. I got a bunch of other guys that I can plug in if they need. I got Mitchell too. I got Wilson. I went with I got everybody but Mostert. Justin starting to get hot in Chandler. Yeah, it's hot in Phoenix, bro. Uh, another couple guys that I want to own, like my must owns. I want Clyde in a lot of leagues. I want Diggs and Allen together in a lot of leagues. I want Sermon in a lot of leagues. I want Jamar Chase and Devontae Smith in the same roster in a lot of dynasty leagues. The Dax value after did Dax value after his injury drop for you? Yeah, I mean, of course, because he not only fractured his ankle on one side, both sides. His ankle was like really jacked up. It was completely dislocated and damaged on both sides. So he had a plate, I believe, on one side and a screw, or a screw on one side and a plate in the other. But he has hardware in his ankle, and it was both sides jacked up. So not loving Dak's injury, although I feel like he's doing pretty well. I just think he might have some long-term problems from that pop up: soreness, missing games, missing practice, that type of stuff. Could shorten his career a little bit. I got Mahomes, Taylor, Gibson, Hill, and Cooper. Nice, bro. It's a really good team. Not coming off an Achilles injury. Mac is not. I don't know who you're talking about there. A-Rod and did X value. I have my Dynasty Superflex draft on this Saturday at 10th pick, 10 team. Should I double running back like Zeke and Mixon or go double QB like Allen and Murray? I kind of like the double QB a little bit better. I don't know how I feel about Zeke, bro. I don't like Zeke or Mixon. I think I come out of that draft hating my team if I got Zeke and Mixon as my top 2. I don't think I like that at all. I'd rather have 2 wide receivers than that. I mean, Zeke and DK or Ridley or something, I could live with that. I think Zeke could have another year left, maybe. But make sure you get Pollard, bro. You've got to get Pollard if you go to Zeke. You have to. You have to reach around higher than you should to make sure you get Pollard so somebody doesn't get cute and draft him. But I like the double QB better, or at least go one QB. But double QB is pretty good, and especially if you land your wide receivers and your running backs. But the one thing about double QB is that if you end up getting the right QB, you're not going like Stafford or something. Not that Stafford's bad, but if you're going to go QB early, don't go double QB and come out with Stafford. You got to go, like you said, Murray and Allen or Herbert and Allen. But when you have that, it's pretty hard to be a bad team in your league when you've got two QBs at that with that capability. Leo, so sorry to reject your Lamb trade. I don't even know what league that's in, bro. I might have sent it a while ago. What do you think about Sutton and Judy? And I don't blame you for rejecting the trade. What do I think about Sutton and Judy? I think Judy's the number one. I think Judy's the CeeDee Lamb in the relationship. Cortland Sutton is the Amari Cooper. Depends on the QB situation in Denver. If it can improve, both can survive. Cortland Sutton can still produce good numbers if a good quarterback is there. Example, A-Rod comes over, turns Jerry Jeudy into a top 5 to 10 wide receiver superstar, and Cortland Sutton can still produce really good numbers. Cortland Sutton's coming off ACL surgery, so don't think he's going to be better than Jeudy, in my opinion. Someone just drafted Henry number 7 overall in our Dynasty Superflex. Should I make him take a lap? I mean, Henry could have one more year left, man. Again, this comes down to an odds game. The odds of Henry having another 1,210 TD season, even if he'll never return to the 2,000-yard form, it just doesn't happen. Your body breaks down after that. But let's say he has 1,210. That'd still be a good year. There's probably a 35% chance he could do that in my mind. Totally guessing. That's my arbitrary guesswork number, 35, 40%. But that's not high enough for me in the first round. I'd rather take a guy that feels more like a 70%, 80% chance of doing what I expect. So it's not about me hating Henry. It's not about me telling you he will not do it. Or like Gurley. When I said no Todd Gurley, and I said it 10,000 times on a live stream, I'll probably do that again this year with a player. It might be a positive or a negative live stream. I'm not sure what I'm going to choose. But basically, I will get on and say 10,000 times in a row one player's name. And it'll take me an hour and a half, 2 hours, and I'll just be like, sermon. And I hit a counter, and I do it 10,000 times. I usually do that once a year with a player. The first year I did no Todd Gurley. It took me an hour and a half. And I did that because I firmly believed Todd Gurley was going to fall apart. And granted, he had more TDs that year and did okay, but he certainly was not the same guy. Like, all the concerns were valid and proven. The decline was real. He never returned to form. He was never the same running back ever again. I'm not saying that we have that level yet with Henry because we've never seen him decline. Gurley, we did. But Henry, we haven't. Henry's done nothing but dominate. The last time we saw him, he was dominant. So Henry, to me, still has no reason to believe the drop-off will be in week 1, week 2, week 3. But after you rush for 2,000 yards, your body can fall apart. And the fact that he's had 303 carries in 2019, he had 400 plus, including the playoffs in 2020. There's a really good shot that mid-season something's going to happen. Whether it's a knee injury, the wheels fall off, the talent drops off swiftly, we don't know. But there's still a 35% chance in my mind that he could still deliver one more electric elite year. And for that reason, I'm not calling him a bust, and I would take him at some point. My line in the sand's probably like a 12, 13 turn, which he's not going to fall to. And I'm not saying that he's a bust. I'm obviously willing to take him at 12. I was not willing to take Gurley at all. So very, very different. Todd Gurley and Derrick Henry, my predictions for decline are very, very different. I really like Henry a lot. I think Henry still has a real decent chance. Decent, but decent's not good enough at number 5 or number 7, especially in a dynasty league. But in a redraft, I'm still not taking him at 5 because I don't want decent odds. I want great odds. I drafted Gurley last year. You should have listened to me, bro. People laughed at me getting Swift at that time. I mean, Swift's good. Swift was good. And spots, and I would like Swift in the right place, right value, but I don't like Swift where he's getting taken. I agree with you. I think it's gonna be deadly when Allen and Murray score like 30 points. Yeah, it's just safe. Like if you go with those quarterbacks and you land anything else, like you're gonna have a good team. It's really hard um, to do bad when you have those quarterbacks. Like, are you guaranteed the top team? No, not necessarily. But if you drafted like Zeke and Mixon, you could completely fall on your face. So, you know what I've been doing lately? Like, people stare. Like I know I'm live streaming right now, and I probably look like I'm probably just look like I'm FaceTiming, you know, with somebody. But people are just they stare, and lately I've been so tired of it. Like when people just stare at you, they're like, I'm staring at them back. I'm just going like this the whole way until they look away. I'm tired of being the one that looks away. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of being the courteous one. You stare at me, I'm staring at you back. Okay, it's done. It's done. Bottom line. Or I'm gonna play my rap video really loud when I leave. Trade to the mother freaking bay. Okay? Then what? Then what are you gonna do? Just greet them. I'm gonna look at them and be like, CeeDee Lamb season, biatch. I just like, especially right here in this parking lot, I've had like 10 people come by and they're just like, as they drive by the entire time, I'm like looking up and I'm like, dude, what? What? I can't link my Discord here. Somebody else can put it in here, but it's pretty easy. Go to Smitty1.com. Smitty, the number one.com. You'll see the blue Discord link, baby. Tell them top five running back. Take a lap. Take a lap. As they drive by, take a lap. Take a lap. Stop staring. Take a lap. It's rude. Ellis says, I think I got kicked for a harmless joke about bathroom matters, but I won't be inappropriate again. I don't know who kicked you, bro. It wasn't me. I've got mods. Be kind to my boy Ellis, guys. Don't boot Ellis. Ellis is an OG. What's up, Kango? So if my mods are listening, you be nice to Ellis. I don't know what he said. Ellis, you should be ashamed of yourself. But, Ellis, you're welcome back. My mods, please don't kick him. Half PPR pick 3. Zeke, Taylor, Aaron Jones, Dobbins, Akers, Mixon. Okay, so here's where you're going to see me give some Akers love. Okay, Akers I can value properly in here. I won't draft Akers at 12 overall, so I might miss out on a lot of drafts this year. I won't own Akers, but in this context, you can trade him too. Jonathan Taylor, Aaron Jones, and Akers are probably your highest value guys. The guys I feel would go quicker in a draft. Therefore, I feel like they have more trade value. Therefore, I'm probably likely to lean in that direction. But I maybe trade later, Ellis. You're going to kick yourself out now? I think maybe I'm going to trade Akers if I do that, though. Just saying. Top 5 running back. Take a lap. Take a lap. Later, Ellis. How much? Sorry, I was trying to see how much time I had or how much battery life. See how much battery life I have left. My battery's dying a little bit. Take a lap. All right, I might be out of here too. I got to run. I got to actually jog. Smitty, you called it last year around this time of year. Tampa Bay Bucks. I did, bro. I did. I actually went on a live stream too. I think with Dr. Raj, man. I feel like nobody remembers that, but it was like the Tampa Bay Bucks, man, getting Brady. This is a Super Bowl contending team. It's like, no, he's too old. Smitty, I'm in a 16-team big money redraft. Standard scoring. Last year, 25 running backs won in the first 3 rounds. Wow. Which running backs out of that range would you target? Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Monty, Kareem Hunt, Carter, Sermon. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying, bro? Love those running backs, bro. I love Clyde and like even ETN. You know, in a redraft. I don't know if you said redraft. I think you said redraft. ETN, Clyde, all good options, man. If anybody comes up behind me, let me know. I like that when I do these lives, you don't have a delay either. So if someone's going to shank me, you can probably warn me in enough time where I could go like this. What do you think of Tyler Lockett this year? I like him a little bit as like a sneaky good wide receiver 3/4, like flex type guy. Always undervalued. Z-Man, 0.5 PPR Clyde or Swift. Z-Man, you know me by now. I'm not about Swift, bro. No Swift. I might do I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to do a no. What running back am I avoiding at all costs in 2021? Swift might be right up there. When I do my 10,000, I might do no DeAndre. It might be a no DeAndre video. You know, Clydey boy, I still love Clyde, man. I love Clyde. I don't love Swift. Swift will go in the top of the third, sometimes late second round, and Clyde's going in at 3.5. I still take Clyde, but I probably try and trade down, or if like I'm trading Swift or Clyde, I'm gonna get more. I'm not a moron, okay, Z-Man. I'm not a moron, bro. But I certainly, like if I'm getting on a plane and my plane's about to get, lost and there's no trading opportunity and they're like, who do I take, Smitty? I'm going to go, Clyde. I'm not messing around. You're getting on a plane, bro. You're getting on a plane. You can't trade. It's Clyde. But if you can trade, then you could get Clyde and maybe a Lamb upgrade. You could trade Julio for Lamb and then downgrade your Swift into Clyde. You know what I'm saying? Thanks, Kango. Don't always take my advice. Trust your gut and use me as a guide. When you're on the fence, let me help you push you over the fence, bro. But always trust your gut. All right, I think I'm out of here. Peace out, everybody. It's been a good hour live. Actually, I'll wait till we get to an hour live. We're at 57 minutes. Any final questions? Make sure you follow me on Instagram. We're about to hit 10K. When I hit 10K, we're giving away a Roku or a Amazon Fire Stick, TV stick, or whatever. So follow me over there. Also, I'm giving away spots to a big league. I'm doing a league. It's my super rookie ranking type of league where you only draft rookies and sophomores. And so when we do the draft, you can only draft the incoming rookie class and last year's rookie class only. Those are the only players you can draft in this league. And I'm giving away, it might be 2 leagues of 12 teams, or I might do one entire league where there's no divisions. It's all one division. Everybody's fighting for total points race. And we have like 24 or 36 teams in it. And then there'll be a representative amount of copies of players to account for anything over 12 teams. So if it's a 24-team league, we'll have 2 copies of every player in the draft pool. You won't be able to draft multiple copies, but 2 copies will exist. So 2 people will be able to draft Barkley. 2 people will be able to draft Derrick Henry. You will only see one available in the drop down. Is Tunyon top 10? Yeah, Tunyon was number 4 out of all tight ends last year. Number 4 in a very deep, weak tight end pool. Number 4. He's definitely top 10. So if anybody wants in that league, you got to be on my IG. You got to be following me on IG. And I'm going to announce winners in my stories and do contests and giveaways. But trying to get to 10K on IG. I'll also be giving away spots here on the YouTube channel. But if you want more opportunities to get a spot, you got to go to both places. Go to Instagram and go to my YouTube stories. I don't know if you guys love my new stories, but I've been doing YouTube shorts, they're called, or short videos on YouTube, and I'll be giving away spots in promotions on my YouTube shorts. So if you want a spot in this league where you only draft rookies and sophomores in the NFL, and there's going to be 2 or 3 copies of every player in the player pool. It's all 12 or 24 to 36 owners fighting for one freaking championship title and a total points race. If you want in on that league, you need to be following me on Instagram and checking out my YouTube shorts. So stay tuned. It's gonna be a dope league. It's gonna be so fun. There'll be a expert and follower league combined. There'll be like half experts, half followers, battling it out. Ceiling for Tunyon. Yep. Ceiling for Tunyon. I don't think I'll beat number 4 again, but I think he's like top 5 to 10. No question. No question about it. Anybody can fail, but no question about ranking him there. Now he's got to deliver. All right. Later, people. Please hit that thumbs up on your way out the door.